Hello, how are you? Welcome to the briefing room. This is where we have conversations way beyond the headlines. Today is public holiday, so allow me to say happy Good Friday to you. Make sure you make good use of your holiday. But like I said, this is a briefing room where we have conversations way beyond the headlines. A lot of things have been happening in the last couple of weeks, and most recently, the launch of the National Community Food Bank by Her Excellency Oluremi Tinubu. We'll take a look at details of that and many more right here on the briefing room. Stay tuned, briefing room will be right back. Welcome back to the briefing room. My name is Estelle Mello. Like I said, this is where we have conversations way beyond the headlines. And today we're kicking off the show with what happened in Abuja. The National Community Food Bank launched that received pledges to the sum of 66 billion naira. Now, this event happened at the State House Conference Center in Abuja, and it was hosted by the First Lady, Oluremi Tinubu, in company of her friends and other dignitaries. I'm talking about ministers, governors, wives of security chiefs. It was a big event that happened at the State House, and it was basically bringing people together, organizations, both the private sector, to contribute for the National Community Food Bank. And just in case you're wondering what this is all about, it's about having food bank across local governments in Nigeria. And this is to provide vouchers for perhaps children under the age of 6, malnourished children under the age of 6, lactating and pregnant women, and vulnerable children. And this would happen across local government areas in Nigeria. Now, this is a move in the right direction. We had the likes of the CEO who represented Aliko Dangote, the CEO of Aliko Dangote Foundation, that pledged the sum of 20 million naira commitment over 5 years, as well as NMPCL to the sum of 10 billion naira as well. Now, this announcement was made by the coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare. I'm talking about Professor Ali Pate. And like I said, NMPCL contributed or pledged the sum of 10 billion naira. Mr. President himself already approved the sum of 17 billion through the Social Action Fund using the community-based procurement platform in each of the wards of the country. Now, this is a move in the right direction, basically ensuring that people who are not able to feed malnourished children, lactating, vulnerable children have access to, food, and which is a move in the right direction. But the big question is, how do we ensure accountability? This is 2026, and by next year we're looking forward to election. In fact, this is the electioneering season. One would wonder, why is this being launched at this point in time? And to me personally, it feels like déjà vu, because we've seen this over and over again. I do hope that at this point we'll have more accountability, where the people in charge of it will not end up siphoning the money. There is a way to ensure measures are put in place just so it gets to people it's meant to get to. It's a very good initiative, but how do we ensure that these funds get to the people it's meant to get to, and that these funds are used for what it's been allocated or provided for? It is very important. Chijoke James, who was representing the Emeka Ofo Foundation, announced a sum of 500 million immediate contribution. And he said, I quote, "Today is not about launching funds, it's about launching hope. No society can truly prosper while hunger persists." Now, we have the food insecurity problem in Nigeria amidst other problems that we have. And so having the launch of this is a move in the right direction. The National Food Community Bank is designed to establish community-based food banks in every local government area. It is linked to the Basic Health Provision Fund, supported by primary health care centers in partnership with the Bank of Agriculture. We have a couple of tweets right here, and we'll take a look at some of them. I have this one right here, and this is from Worry Boy that says, which money exactly is NNPC Limited donating to her food bank? Is it from actual profits made from oil sales or from funds we as citizens are not even allowed to question? And what about the governors? Which money are they donating? And so, yes, the governors are expected to donate funds as well to the sum of about 500 million naira each. I hope it's not taxpayers' money disguised as charity. I hope it's coming directly from their personal salaries and not public funds. When you even ask personal salaries, how much is the salary of a state governor? How much is it? To crown it all, what is the current state of the money that was previously donated for the National Library of Nigeria in Abuja? Till today, we still don't have clear answers. These same people are not accountable when it comes to billions and trillions, yet they expect ordinary citizens to account for every single kobo they earn. You want transparency from people, but you can't provide transparency to the people. That's not leadership. That's hypocrisy. This is really, really deep. And like I said, it's really important that, yes, contribution to the sum of 66 billion naira. That is a lot of money. I hope these funds will be judiciously used. We've had this over and over and over again. And there's a particular trending video, and it's important that we play that video right here on the briefing room, just because we're talking about, the launch of the National Community Food Bank by Her Excellency Oluremi Tinubu. A trending video is circulating online of Nigerians being demanding to present their voters card before they are handed over a bag of rice. Now, I'm sure you must have seen the video. If you haven't seen the video of, people making jokes, kit makers making jokes of, oh, you have a problem, take rice. You have an issue, the road is not working, take rice. There is insecurity, take rice. But you know what? We're going to play that video right here on the briefing room. Take a look at this video right here.
Show your voters. We go out to the belly of the voters can lama big bar. 2027 president. Second time. President. APC. Progress. APC. My party, your party, our party. Operation show your voters card.
We never get to learn. We've seen this over and over and over again. And that is why when we talk about, our leaders are not performing, the truth is we are enablers. Because what is this exactly? What is this? This is a true or a pure definition of weaponizing poverty. How are you being asked to provide your PVC before you can be gifted a bag of rice? How much is a bag of rice? Now, compare the price of a bag of rice to 4 years of your future, 4 years of your life, 4 years of... it's really sad. We have this tweet right here, and this is from Teresa that says, insecurity, rice. No lights, rice. Lack of healthcare facilities and personnel, rice. Poor standard of education, rice. High fuel price, rice. Inflation, rice. No jobs, rice. No good road network system, rice. No infrastructure, rice. Add yours. Oh, you that is watching me now, you can add yours. Don't forget you can be part of the show right here on the briefing room by calling the number on your screen and dropping your comments. We'll take them right here. And I wouldn't blame this individual that made this comment, because then again, when you look at it, this is just a bag of rice. We're not asking for jobs. Now, I do not think it is the responsibility of the government to create jobs, but I honestly believe it is the responsibility of the government to create enabling environments. Small businesses are shutting down. Insecurity is getting worse. There is no electricity. So what exactly are we doing with the funds? And when you ask about the gifts, that is being given out, which funds do we often use? Which funds? How do we get these funds that we use to, give out the gifts, the palliative? Recently, I saw a video of a National Union of Road Transport Workers. They've been given cars, and it really irked me. And it irked me because why is this? It was just basically for 2027 election. It's really sad when we weaponize poverty. I think we can do better, really. We can do better to hold our governors, our local government chairmen, our councillors, the president himself accountable. The truth is, the bag of rice you're taking today, trust me, where it is coming from, you're worth more than that bag of rice. And it's like they've taken a lot of your money and they're giving you peanuts. Perhaps we can do better. But we move on to our second story. And this is another video that is also trending online. This is a video by the presidential candidate of Labour Party for 2023 election that has now joined ADC. ADC is a political platform that basically have internal wranglings that is looking like it's going to destabilize the party. If you're wondering who I'm talking about Peter Obi. He's been moving around. He's been very vocal. And recently, he had an interview, just a brief interview at an event, and he spoke about he spoke about the fuel subsidy. He said, I quote, we're about the same size as Pakistan. They have more roads. We probably have same number of vehicles or they even have more. Yet their fuel consumption is the third of ours. Who is drinking the balance? Take a look at this video right here. He was basically talking about the removal of fuel subsidy. Take a look.
Subsidy is organized crime. I will not allow any form of criminality as president of Nigeria. The amount of fuel they say we consume cannot be consumed by this country. There's an empirical evidence. We are about the same size as Pakistan. Pakistan, we are about 210, 220. Pakistan is about the same size. They have more roads. We probably have same number of vehicles, or they have even more. Yet, their fuel consumption is a third of ours. So who is drinking the balance?
There you have it. That is a video by the presidential candidate of Labour Party for 2023 general election, who was speaking about fuel subsidy rather, as an organized crime. When I saw this video, I do know that he's been really active and engaging. But if I'm to say anything to His Excellency Peter Obi at this point in time, I think it's time to be more strategic. He's joined the Labour Party. He's joined ADC. And ADC is a political party right now that has a lot of internal wranglings. In fact, there's been protests. Yesterday, they had a press conference in Abuja. And this is basically about the fact that their national chairman have been taken out of the website, that is INEC website. And they're calling for the INEC chairman, Joash Mopito, to be removed. He shouldn't be involved in internal party affairs. However, the court cases hovering around ADC is really, really disturbing. And it just makes it really difficult. I would say this to His Excellency Peter Obi, that he should ensure that right now, the conversation, way beyond the conversation, just ensure that you plan yourself. The whole internal party wrangling that is currently disturbing and even leading to the point of removing the national chairman of ADC from the website as well as the secretary from the website is fixed. I think this political party or ADC should come together and strategize just to ensure that they are well positioned for 2027 election. So while moving around, you need political party agents. You need to campaign at the local government and ward level. These are what he should be doing at this point in time. Get your acts right. If you want to challenge APC in 2027 election, then we need to be very strategic. We have a tweet right here. And this is from Toby Fudge that says, Peter Obi drawing his hard line on zero tolerance for criminality actually cuts through the usual politician double speak. We've grown numb to. Saying we won't tolerate it is easy. Dismantling the network that profits from it while keeping your own coalition intact is a path no one has ever pulled off. If he actually means it, we're about to find out whether one man can rewrite the rules or if the system rewrites him first. We have this one right here, another tweet. This is one from son of Elijah that says, bold words by Peter Obi. Perhaps, let us be frank. Nigeria has heard this same promise from countless leaders before. Crime and corruption aren't defeated by speeches. They're entrenched in a system that rewards the cunning and punishes the honest. Unless you dismantle the networks that have flourished for decades, your vow is just another echo in a hall of empty promises. And I completely agree with this. We have structural and systemic issues that needs to be fixed. It is way beyond lip service. And this is a briefing room right here. We're going to short break, and when we return, briefing room continues. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the briefing room. My name is Estelle Mello. Do not forget that you can be part of the show by calling the number on your screen. We're streaming live right now on YouTube as well as Instagram. To be part of the conversation, put a call across and we'll listen to you right here. You can as well drop your comments right now. There is a particular video that is trending online. And yes, I would always talk about a video trending online because it is important. A particular nurse from Enugu State made a video and she complained about the fact that the hospital didn't have light, there was no oxygen, mosquitoes all around. It just wasn't a good environment for a good environment or a good place to be called the hospital. She lamented about this on social media. Guess what? She has been suspended. Governor Peter Mbah's administration is facing backlash following indefinite suspension of a student nurse who went viral for exposing the dilapidated state of one George Hospital in Enugu. The nurse, in a tearful follow-up video shared on TikTok as well as on Twitter, now X, confirmed that she's been barred from her clinical duties and removed from the hospital's workforce as punishment for whistleblowing. I find this really painful, really disturbing, and really sad. Instead of focusing on the issues, if it wasn't a problem, if it wasn't even affecting her job, I do not think she would speak about it. But it's really painful that when people speak up, instead of looking at the issue that they've spoken about, we end up attacking them. How then do we speak up when there are issues? It's really, really disturbing. And it takes me back to Dark Skin Ella, the content creator that made a video on social media about lack of BRT buses and how all of a sudden it turned out to be a disturbing video where she didn't feel safe anymore. It felt like people were coming out for her, coming out to look for her just to harm her. It's like we are our own problem in this part of the country. Because tell me why a nursing student who made a video complaining of something that wasn't working, instead of commending her for speaking out, she's been punished, taken out, suspended, taken out of the workforce as punishment for what exactly? We are our own problem in this part of the country. And until we're able to speak up, we're able to say things the way it is, then, I mean, we're just moving round circle. And it takes me back to another video of the president who was in Just. Remember the killing that happened in Just a couple of days ago, over 20-something people who were killed and even more injured. The president was in Just yesterday, and he didn't go to the exact location. He was just at the airport. And just while he was about talking, he said he had just 10 minutes to spend with the victims of, people that were killed, or the siblings or relatives of the people that were killed. And he said there was no light. It was, you guys, it's really disturbing when we see things like this. He spoke to them, he engaged them, but telling them he had just 10 minutes to spend with them, and even thanked, the security personnel, and ordered that 5,000 cameras would be released. And he said this would not happen again. Hello? it shouldn't even happen in the first place. We shouldn't even have this would not happen again. The people that perpetrated this crime, what is being done? We've not heard anything. 27 plus people and more numbers of people that have been killed. This is not the first time it is happening. Insecurity is plaguing across different parts of the country. It's really disturbing. We have a tweet right here, and this is from Okafor Nadozie that says, this is exactly why people hesitate to speak up in Nigeria. The nurses highlighted real dangers, no light, no water, patients at risk, and the response is indefinite suspension of fixing the root problem of protecting whistleblowers. Government queried the hospital, issues supposedly fixed overnight, yet the staff who expose it are punished. Reinstate these nurses immediately and focus on sustainable improvement in our public hospitals. Life depends on it, not on silencing voices. Hashtag end bad governance in health sector. Stephen Wame says, it's surprising how they always know what to do, but never do it until someone calls them out. Fixing the problems raised is good, but the ladies must not lose their job for telling the truth. I hope they're reinstated as soon as possible. Another one right here, this is from Kalu Aja that says, once I saw the video with the nurses in Enugu, I knew they would get queried, be suspended or sacked, possibly arrested. The female nurses are making video because they want the state to work. They could have simply sat down and gisted all night and got paid. This should have been praised, not queried. And I completely agree. To be honest, they should have been praised and not queried. Hospitals. Imagine you go to a hospital, you don't have light, you don't have water, you have mosquitoes around. Is that place deserving of being called? Is that place deserving of being called a hospital? It's really, really disturbing that when we have people who would come out to speak about issues, you end up punishing them. We shouldn't be punished. And I think for private hospitals, though, if you have space, I think these girls should be called in. You know, if they have to move to a private university, they should be called in, because it's really despicable that someone would speak about an issue. Mind you, this is not just school. We're talking about hospitals. Hospitals where it should be the hope of people who are not able to fend for themselves. It should be the hope where people who are struggling for their lives should where they should go to and be resuscitated. But what happens? They speak about it and they're being punished. It's the reality across different parts, different sectors. I mean, we talk about, oh, the state governor, they've launched this hospital. But when you go to check these hospitals, how many times do you see our state governors? How many times do you even see our ministers? How many times do you see our federal lawmakers visiting hospitals in Nigeria? The same hospitals that they have built, they cannot go to those hospitals for treatment. Those hospitals were built with taxpayers' money. Yet the least you can do is to fix it, ensure they're functioning. Let's not even talk about the brain drain. The brain drain that is happening when you talk about the health sectors. Doctors are leaving in droves. So, I mean, it's really despicable. By the way, you can be part of the conversation by calling the number on your screen. Would love to hear from you wherever it is that you are watching from. It is the briefing room right here on, this is the briefing room. We have another video and it's an exciting one. You know, just as we conclude the briefing room. And this is a video by Tems. Now, Tems returned to Jimmy Fallon's show for her song, What You Need. And this is from her latest EP, Love is a Kingdom. You know what? Before we talk about it, take a look at the performance right here on the briefing room. Take a look.
I need to be alone now. I need to be alone. I'm
And look at me blushing from cheek to cheek. These are what we love to see. Good news. Good news. Congratulations to Tems. The song What You Need is from her album that dropped way back in last year, November. Love is a Kingdom. It was wrote, it was composed, and produced by Tems. She released her last full length, Born in the Wild. Born in the Wild. This was in 2024. And then she also won Best African Music Performance in 2025. I'm talking about the Grammy Award for her single Love Me Jeje. And it's just beautiful to see that when you talk about the entertainment industry, it is booming and pushing. Now, if you follow Tems, you know that Tems, aside from music, Tems have been basically investing as a creative. She recently launched a platform that basically helps, artists, female artists. And she spoke about the fact that sometimes it's really difficult for female artists to thrive. And she launched a foundation just to help female artists, not just in Nigeria, but across Africa. And just seeing her doing well in the entertainment space is really beautiful. Congratulations to Tems for the amazing work that she's always doing. Now, this is where we'll let the curtain fall on today's episode of The Briefing Room. Do not forget to click the subscribe button. Do not forget to join us every weekday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. My name is Esther Omelo, and until I come your way again, stay out of trouble, be good, be nice, happy holiday. Thanks for being part of the show. Bye.